Hello everyone, today we're doing something a little bit differently. We're going to be talking about Dimension 20 and why you should be watching it. To answer the question in the video's title, it's very good. What? Oh, that's not nearly long enough? People don't know what it is and I should explain. Okay. Dimension 20 is College Humor's tabletop role-playing series. It takes cast members from different eras of College Humor, puts them all together, and they play Dungeons and Dragons. Now, if you're like me, you grew up watching College Humor way before you were even in college, which I'm not sure if that's actually allowed, but I did it anyway, and I'm guessing a lot of you did too. They've been on the internet pretty much as long as videos have been on the internet, and they've been making the funniest stuff since then. Maybe you've seen advertisements for it and you've thought, hey, I like College Humor, I like RPGs, I just don't have the time to commit to a new series. Well, unfortunately, a lot of us have some extra time on our hands now, making it kind of the perfect time to get into it. There's also 5 full adventures already uploaded, with a new one starting today. But what makes Dimension 20 so great? If Dungeons & Dragons is a combination of fantasy storytelling and improvisation, it would make sense that comedians would be great Dungeons & Dragons players. The rules of improv and the rules of good playering are pretty similar. You say yes and you're trying to set up great moments for the other party members, not just for yourself. So if you take comedians with an improv background and put them in a D&D game, that's gonna create one spicy meatball of fun. The main cast of Dimension 20 is made up of College Humor all-stars. You've got Zach Oyama, Brian Murphy, Allie Beardsley, Emily Axford, Siobhan Thompson, and Lou Wilson. If you've been watching College Humor as long as I have, you know who these people are, you recognize them, you're excited to see them. And if you're not familiar with College Humor, there are special guests from all over the tabletop RPG community. Guests like Matthew Mercer, Erica Ishii, and the McElroy brothers.
Oh, nasty dude!
Like I said earlier, there are 5 different adventures already done and uploaded, and each of them has these people playing different characters, trying out different things, mixing it up, and showing off their comedic talents in a world created by a master storyteller. There's one player I've left out, it's the Dungeon Master Brennan Lee Mulligan, because I kind of feel like the Dungeon Master deserves to be its own section. If you disagree with me, there's only like 2 seconds where that intro is, you can just cut it out if you want. But Brennan Lee Mulligan is one of the funniest people College Humor has ever had. You've probably seen him in those fake CEO sketches, one of which actually won an award for being so damn funny.
Oh my god. That is a killer shave.
But he's been playing Dungeons & Dragons pretty much his whole life, and he's got 1,000 voices locked somewhere deep in the recesses of his brain that he'll be using for every NPC. All of the NPCs feel like they could be their own characters that are living their own full lives that the players just happen to stumble into every now and then.
They're called the Cubbies. It's the Cubby family. You see that Bud says, what you could do is you could make an anonymous call to the cops, right? You get one of them to show up and you bag them, right? Throw a sack over his head real quick.
We're not gonna...
The DM also sets the tone of the game, and Brennan does a fantastic job of balancing heart and humor. Yes, it's a funny show, that's the main purpose of it, but after you've been laughing with these characters for so long, you start to really care about them. You get really emotionally invested and start crying at your desk while you're working your desk job, and then your boss is like, hey, I need you to get back on the phone. And you can't really explain that you're emotionally attached to a fictional pirate dad, so you just go back to telemarketing, but while sobbing uncontrollably. We've all been there. The concepts of the adventures themselves are also amazing. You've got a fantasy high school, a fantasy version of New York, Lord of the Rings from the perspective of the bad guys inside Mordor, and a heist with a crew of people about 2 inches tall. It's definitely homebrew stuff, but it's homebrew stuff that knows what it's doing. That also means it's stuff you're probably not going to see anywhere else. And if seeing is believing, we've got to throw some credit to the art department, because holy... When looking for a D&D show, I always want something my home game can't have, and the art design of Dimension 20 is so over the top, it's not even funny. Actually, it is funny, even the maps are funny, that's how funny this show is. The miniatures are amazingly sculpted and painted. The backgrounds are elaborate and varied. You're never gonna see them fighting in the same place twice, and every time there's a fight, the environment plays some sort of factor that ups the stakes and gets you all nervous for all your favorite people. The whole show is recorded in advance and then edited down, down so you don't get bogged down with people looking up exactly how much a halberd is supposed to do. There's music that's added in afterwards to tug on your little heartstrings more. And there's never a dull moment. This level of detail immerses you right away, so even in episode 1 of an adventure, you're getting sucked into one of those strange worlds. Like I said earlier, there's a new season coming out, which is A Crown of Candy. It's basically Game of Thrones set in the Candyland board game. And I used the power of my Dungeons & Dragons internet clout to get the first 2 episodes early and to review them, and let me say, it is amazing. This is the main cast, not the side quest cast, and you can tell they just keep getting more comfortable and the jokes keep flying faster and faster between them, as well as the emotional attachment. I'm already so attached to these characters, and I'm so scared and so excited to see what happens to them next. The sets are still amazing, actually probably the best they've ever been. Everything is made out of food, and while I was watching it, I just wanted to eat donuts so bad, which I can't really do right now because, you know, you're not supposed to leave your house or whatever. So I just really wanted a donut and couldn't do it, which I guess I'm gonna dock it points for that. That wasn't great because it was too good. Another little thing is that the players aren't all at the same level starting off, which I think is a really interesting thing that I don't see a lot in Dungeons & Dragons. So it's exciting to see them mixing it up a little bit and having a cast of different skill levels. It's another thing that makes Dimension 20 so unlike anything else out there. You can get a sampling of what Dimension 20 is all about by checking out their YouTube channel. They've got a ton of episodes uploaded there that you can check out, see if it's for you. I'm guessing it will be because it's kind of for everyone. If you want all the episodes, you're going to have to go to dropout.tv. That's College Humor's paid subscription service, and I know no one is looking for a new subscription service at the moment, but it's only $5 a month, and you get a ton of content. Not just Dimension 20, but other hilarious shows like Game Changer and Total Forgiveness. Check trailers out for those. They're very funny. They're some of my favorite things. There's so much content on there. I haven't even gotten to all of the shows that are there. That's how regularly they're uploading content. It's really the best. And trust me, Dimension 20 makes it worth the cost on its own. Everything else is just delicious, hilarious gravy. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, let me know. This isn't something we normally do here, so if you want more stuff like this, tell me about it. If you don't want more stuff like this, also tell me. It'll just probably hurt my feelings.